shifting from our problems into our uniqueness and strengths.
This is the topic of today's video. Hi there. Today we are actually looking at problems and how when we shift our focus from the problem towards your uniqueness, it can become a real strengthening process. But before we are going into this part, let's look a little bit at problems itself. Now, let's be honest, we all have our share of problems. And most of us, me included, we don't like it so much when we face them. But looking at our lives, when were the times that we grew, that challenged us, that brought change, new things to our doorsteps? A lot of the times it was having solved some problems or involving a movement that was actually initiated by problems.
As practitioners of the Pantarei Approach, people come to us with their problems. You might come because you feel too lonely, or because you are in a family with too many children and you don't have a moment for yourself, or because you feel that you would like to connect better, or you're looking for your passion or vision or reason to live on daily kind of sensation. You might find your own reasons to come and to seek for support and help. Of course, we are not here to help you in finding the solution. This you would need to do in your own life. But we do believe that if you would connect to who you are, to your resources, to your strengths, solutions would be found. Solutions that might surprise you, solutions that might be much more creative than what the normal kind of I have a problem and a solution way of thinking.
But if you think about it, which problem do you have right now in your life? Just a moment, reflect on that. And what happened in that moment once you start thinking about it? It's normally not then the time that we are able to see our resources, or that when we look at our problems, it is something that immediately brings up our strengths. Often you can say we face a problem and we rather focus on it and zoom into the problem. I have issues in communication, so I will find it maybe first in my close relationship, and then I will find it when I want to order a little bread at the bakery, and I will know everything that I do wrong about it and maybe everything that I'm improving, but I will not know what actually this kind of problem says about me.
And if you hear what Claudia is described, I hope this is not your real problem.
Mine?
With communication, but
it was in the beginning of Berlin. Oh my God, I thought ordering a bun of bread is the hardest thing to do in the world.
So, achievement, she does know how. We just had lunch. But beside of that, when we are talking about something that we feel not well with, like you have an issue with communication, it's often doesn't end there. We are going into circles and we become the problem. We are not saying, I don't know how to communicate, but we are saying, I am bad in communication. And if it it continues and go all the way to I'm unworthy for communication, I should not communicate with people, people should not listen to me. It's often we take one thing that we struggle with and we make it into a very, very, very huge thing that we are at the center of it, and we don't find any real positive solution that way.
Now, if you would sit now in front of me and tell me you are bad in communication and enter into the spiral that Vered just described, I would start to actually enlarge your point of view towards the spiral into what does communication actually mean about you? Why is this topic so important? I would start to add actually your love for communication. I would add and look together with you for reasons why you can say this particular problem is right there at your doorstep. And by enlarging the point of view, it will add actually options to the problem that was not or have not been there before. We can then find some strengths that the problem can show you. We can actually find answers that will serve you at the end also to deal with your communication skills.
Let's say it differently. If I hear Claudia talking about her once upon a time problems of communication, and she would dare to talk about it very seriously, like she maybe sometimes would like to do, she would probably see me smiling. I don't think that communication is her issue as something that she is not good at. I would actually say the whole reason she focused on communication was that she truly loved connections. And that's true for all of us. When we are looking at something that we don't know how to deal with in our life, whether it's the wish for communication or the wish to find a purpose in life or the wish for finding a partner or the wish to have a better relationship, whatever you deal with, you also express within that thing your own unique forces, your own unique qualities, your own individuality. And this is what we would suggest you to focus on.
So what's so important for us to say is that any problem that you are struggling with also really reveals who you are, what is important for you. And once we add this to the focus as well, you can already see how then looking for solutions or for a way out of this problem will happen with much more strength and force than without that.
So when you deal with something that you relate to as a problem, as difficulties, as a challenge, before you start to define it as something not good, as something negative that you need to overcome, give yourself a moment. Think what that issue shows about you, and if you can, enlarge your perception. Maybe you will need to talk to somebody about it. Maybe you'll need to share it with somebody and ask them, do you see that as my issue? Maybe you would need to look at it and to write down a few points for yourself, but you would like to be able to expand, to look at it from a much larger view than focusing on the issue itself.
And another angle on it is that when you are, again, facing a problem, remember you are not that problem. You don't need to identify yourself with the problem. You are, again, thinking that communication is not your skill, that you will never find the right partner, that, I don't know, you will not lead a successful life. All of this is not who you are. It's all a place from where you can actually start to discover who you are, where you can add from what you faced as a problem, something that can become really enforcing a change for yourself, for the life that you wish for.
You know, when someone comes to a Pantarei process, our practitioners, and of course also us, start by asking them to describe us who they are. So if you would come to a session and you would like to start to tell me, that's why I'm here, this is what I need to solve, this is what I need to change in myself, I would tell you, wait, before you start telling me all of that, can you describe me more who you are? What's your life about? What do you do for a living? What is your profession? What do you love? Because quite often there I would find the real resources that you have. When we would understand that, it would be so much easier for us to look at the issue you would like to address and find completely new ways to relate to it.
So thank you to listen to us today. Really, really open up your view on problems and see in them not yourself, but focus on the uniqueness, on who you are. Add that to whatever you are struggling with, and the answers will be there.
So thank you for listening. Please have a moment of looking at your problems and realizing that they are not only things to solve. Sometimes they are exactly the key for your uniqueness.